All right, for our next speaker, we have Charity, and she's going to, even though we are going to a Christ-centered university, that doesn't mean no one is struggling with secret battles behind closed doors that need help. We have all gone through something crushing in life and have felt alone. Our next speaker is going to show how she opened her closed doors and how you can overcome secret battles. Please welcome Charity.
We have all gone through something in life, and at times, it may leave us feeling a little bit lonely, may leave us feeling that no one will understand what I'm truly going through. And the next 10 minutes, you will pick up tools that you can use for the rest of life. And these tools are the 3 B's to overcoming secret battles. The first B is becoming brave. The second B is building relationships, and then the third B is being still. Tears are not a form of weakness. Just like a smile doesn't always mean you're strong, but they both show perseverance and integrity. And the first B in overcoming secret battles is becoming brave. Being brave is being able to step outside of your comfortable comforter blanket and being able to speak up about the secret things that you're going through. It's being able to bring what you're dealing with in the dark to the light. The secret struggles that no one knows about. The secret puffs as they pass. The secret pornographic views on the screens of I'm alone so no one will know. And other secret lies that we may have told ourselves, like, I love him and he loves me, so one time won't hurt nobody. No. It takes a brave heart to be able to step beyond the secret battles that no one wants to admit and confess. And this is a call to action. Secret battles, of overcoming secret battles, by becoming brave, speaking up, and speaking out. Because these secret battles are a problem. Depression is a problem. Anxiety, addictions, eating disorders, and other secret battles, self-harming, and even pornography addictions are a problem. And you're probably asking me, why? Because, it's life. No. Even when people tell you what you're going through, it's okay. Everyone does it. Everyone smokes weed. It's okay. It's not okay. These are a problem. This is a problem. And you want to know why? Because people are dying. People are killing themselves. People are hurting themselves and hurting others by their words and their actions. Hurt people hurt people. But there is a solution to all of this. The first step, as I have stated, the first B, as I have stated, is becoming brave. And then the next B that I'm going to speak about is building relationships. Meaningful relationships. Fruitful relationships. And discovering our differences, we can uncover our similarities. Do you know that most people struggling with something that they feel is embarrassing, that they feel alone? Like they're the only one going through it, and that even if they did speak up about it, people wouldn't understand where they're coming from. And the truth is, I have felt this loneliness. I have felt this bitterness. I have felt as if I did speak up, ain't nobody gonna listen. And even if they did, they wouldn't understand possibly even the slightest of what it has took me to get to where I am now. They're not gonna understand why I feel the way I feel. So I might as well just keep my mouth closed. But the truth is, we are not alone. For one, and for two, that the people that are sitting right next to us, that they're going through something too. Could you just imagine? If you would have been with me just 12 years ago when I was 6, you would have seen this chocolate little brown little girl with these big puff balls in my hair. I literally looked like Mickey Mouse. I was so loud, so energetic. Every time I walked into the room, you would hear me. And my uncle used to have to tell me, little girls are supposed to be seen, not heard, because you would hear me before you would see me. But at such a young age, I was filled with so much passion, so much hunger to grow. I'm the youngest. for all the little ones out there. But yes, I wanted to be like my brother and my sister. I wanted to climb the mountains. We had like this house in front of us that was first being built. So to me, it looked like mountains, but it was literally like the little, I guess, not plantation, platform of like building the house. And I was like, oh my God, let's go outside and like climb these mountains. But they were literally like dirt hills. But the thing was, I was passionate and I wanted to succeed in life. I wanted to just be the best I could be. But then there was something that snatched that all away from me. And then I was no longer that happy child. I thought everyone had it out to get me. I thought that everyone was going to hurt me because at that time, the one person that I could trust betrayed me. And this person introduced pornography into my life. So at the time, I was 6 when porn was introduced into my life. And the person that introduced it to me was my cousin, and she was about 4 years older than me. And she had a sister that was about 10 years older than her, so to do the math, her sister was 20, she was 10, and then I was 6. And like most adults, her sister partook in sexual activity. So back in the day, we didn't have phones that could just go on the internet and just pull up porn. They had magazines and CDs. So one day I thought I was coming over for a little typical play date. And then my cousin was like, girl, look what I found. And I was like, oh, girl, what you found? And it was a magazine full of porn, hardcore porn, that came along with the CD. And so at a young age, she was 10, so she didn't know any better. And she introduced that porn to me by playing it. So that one video became 2. And then out of our curiosity became more and more. And at the time, I didn't know it was wrong. I just thought it was mommy and daddy, and that's what mommy and daddies do. But I was so innocent and naive to thinking that was all that was. So now when you fast forward to when I was about 10, I still felt like this ain't right. Why are we watching this? But there was something about it that kept pulling me in. And even when I tried to turn it away, and even when I tried to push it to the side, there was something about it that just kept enticing me. So then when I got about 12, and at the time, I was raised in a Christian home, so I knew who this God man was, but I didn't know him for myself. And so when people used to tell me, he has the whole world in his hands, I really thought, there was this man that was beyond the skies, beyond the stars, beyond the galaxy, that was so huge that he would literally hold us in his hand. That's what I pictured of God. And so, when he would come back, everybody would see him in the skies. I really thought, his big face was just going to show up in the sky. That's who I thought God was. But I did realize that, he loves me and that there's nothing that could separate me from him. And I started feeling, depressed, and I started feeling lonely at 12 years old after going through it from 6 years old to now. And I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I keep saying I don't want to do it, yet there's something that keeps pulling me back, but I just want to push it away, and I couldn't. So I was like, well, if this God man is real, he can help me because he can do all things. And so I began to cry and I began to weep behind closed doors. I used to try to show everyone that I was happy, but I wasn't. I was depressed. I was lonely, filled with anxiety. And I was like, if this God man is real, he can move all these problems and I won't have to go through it anymore. So when you fast forward to when I was about 14, still struggling with it. And I was like, at this point, I am a girl, and I would typically think a guy would struggle with this, so maybe I'm not going to get married. Maybe I'm not going to have a boyfriend, because I hadn't had a boyfriend at that time. And I was just like, people aren't going to love me if they truly know what I'm going through, so I'm just going to have to deal with this on my own because this God man still hasn't removed it. But then, like my second point, I had to build a relationship. So when I was 8, I had this best friend, and she was a preacher's daughter. And she had everything all together. She was the oldest child, so she got everything she wanted. And being that she's a preacher's daughter, there's nothing that she would go through that's wrong or embarrassing. She had her life together. So I was like, yo, I'm going through this. And at the moment, she was the closest thing I had. I couldn't tell my mom I'm watching porn. Couldn't tell my siblings I'm watching porn. So who could I tell that would understand me and not judge me? And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with this alone. So I called my best friend up. Her name is Jenny. And I called her and I was like, hey, yo, I'm struggling. And it's embarrassing. Can you please not judge me? And she was like, Charity, what are you talking about? And she was like, are you okay? And everyone knows when you ask, are you okay? That's when the floodgates of heaven open up and you start crying. And so I'm weeping, Jenny, oh my God, I've been struggling with this thing for like when I was 6 years old, and I still wasn't telling her what the problem was. And she was like, Charity, just tell me what it is. And I was like, Jenny, I'm struggling with watching porn. And she was like, Charity, like, don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. If you need help, ask for it. Speak up. Like, I can help you. Even though I'm not going through it, I understand what you're going through because, believe it or not, I've been going through my own secret battle. I've been hating myself. I've been not loving myself. It's hard for me to get up in the morning because I feel like I'm too big. And I was like, Jenny, girl, you're beautiful. I want to look like you. And she's like, just how you feel about me, how you want to look like me and be like me. Charity, you're so energetic. I want to look like you, be like you. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, even though I'm in this messed up situation, how can she still love on me? And she was like, just like this God man that you believe in who will never leave you or forsake you, I will never leave or forsake you. I'm your friend. This is what a friend is supposed to do. Pick you up and carry your burdens when you cannot do it alone. And I was like, girl, you are the best. Like, oh my God, I really thought you were going to leave me. I thought I was going to be alone. She was like, no. And she began to be sowing these fruitful seeds into my life. And so she would start to declare over me like things like, God will never leave or forsake you. And there's nothing in the heavens or the hells or high in the lows that can rip you away from his love. And girl, guess what? You are wonderful and fearfully made. So even though you're feeling anxious in this moment, don't be scared because God didn't give you the spirit of fear. And I'm like, I don't really know what any of this means because I'm like a new Christian, but I'm going to believe what she's saying. So I would pick myself up and she would help pick me up and we would continue to push through it together. And not once did she ever look at me in disgust or judge me, but she loved me the way this God man said you're supposed to love. So, but through all of this, I have overcome my battle with pornography. But it was with the help of having an accountability partner. It was with the help of having a friend. And through that relationship, we have built this sisterly bond that has become stronger than ever. And even today, as I'm 18 years old, we are still friends. So I know that these secret battles that we may be going through may be embarrassing. But it came a time in my own life where I realized I cannot do this alone and I need help. There are 7.3 billion people on this earth for a reason because we aren't meant to be fighting these secret battles alone. So imagine this. Close your eyes and imagine this. If there was someone very close to you battling with anxiety, depression, self-harming, pornography addictions, drug and alcohol addictions, just something. They're battling with something so bad that they were just 3 hours away from taking their life away, 3 hours away from committing suicide. Because they are so sick and tired of being sick and tired that they just wanted to end it all. But you, yes, your secret battle, your secret struggle is the only thing that they were looking for, to know that they are not alone and to know that they're not the only ones struggling with something that may seem embarrassing, but to know that there's others out there just like them. What if you speaking up about your secret battle not only allowed you to become brave and you to build relationships, but it ultimately may have saved someone's life? Just imagine how this is actually affecting you, because you're probably saying, I've never struggled with watching porn, like that's gross. But there is somebody that has. There is something that behind your closed door, behind your secret door that you are struggling with. And it may not be what I'm going through, but there's something that you're going through. So in my case, it was porn. And like this secret battle, the more I gave into it, the more it became addicting. So it was like this one video became into 2 videos, and then 3 videos, just like that one blunt became 2 blunts. Then it became 3. Yes, just like that one time I was just going to miss a meal because I felt a little bloated, became 2 meals, and so on and so forth. You can see how these secret battles become one, and then they multiply. The more we become enchained by it, it literally can become a drug. It changes our brain, it changes our heart, and it changes the way that we view the world. These secret battles can literally hijack your brain. And allow me to digress. Just like tobacco, cocaine, marijuana, Mary Jane, whatever you want to call it, alcohol, they all have something in common. Over time, they become addictive. Your brain naturally releases a chemical known as dopamine that signals that it likes what you're doing. And it entices you to continue even when what you're doing is harmful. Even when what you're doing is literally killing you from the inside out, there's just something that just continues to entice you. So even when I was thinking, oh my God, I'm done with this, I don't want to do it anymore, there was something that continued to pull me back in, and it is known as dopamine, and it's released in your own brain. It's literally like your body is like tricking you, but you continue to fall into it, and it becomes an addiction. Can you see why these secret battles are wrong? Why they're hurtful, and why they need to be solved. So now that we know that in order to overcome these secret battles, we have to first become brave and then build relationships. And now I want us to apply those so that when we face these secret battles, we can be still. For one, I personally have applied all of these. I've become brave through all of the years. I have built relationships, and now in this season of my life, I am being still. I would have never imagined in a million years that I will be telling people that I do not know I struggled with watching porn because it's embarrassing. But look at me now. I'm able to stand before you today full of joy, and not just no temporary joy, a joy that only God can give. A joy that lets me know that, hey, even when I fall, I'm going to get right back up because I'm not going to let this stop me. I've been dealing with this secret battle since I was 6, and I am 18 years old. There's no way I'm going to let this stop me. I have been going through this for way too long to let it stop me, and I'm pretty sure you're thinking to yourself, I've been going through whatever I'm going through for so long, and I don't want it to let me stop me. Don't. Be still. And even if you make a mistake, and even if you mess up, and even if you fall right back into it, get back up and get out of it, because I believe you can. I've done it. And now look at me. Look at me. I'm happy, y'all. Don't be sad for me. I am so happy. Because on the other side of my trust, I know that I can find forgiveness. Forgiveness in myself, me being able to forgive myself. I know that there's a God that forgives me. He redeems me, and he reconciles me. So even though I may fall 7 times, I'm going to get back up 8 times, believe it or not. And I'm going to keep it pushing. I have been struggling with this for too long, so now I'm going to be like, I'm done with it. Wash my hands, and I'm moving on. So with that being said, I am starting a YouTube channel. And I'm literally going to be sharing this same testimony, and I'm going to have other people come into my show and share their testimonies, because I haven't gone through everything in the world. What you're dealing with, I probably have never dealt with it. So what better way to connect with another person than someone who has actually dealt with it? So through my YouTube channel, I'm going to share my story and allow other people to share theirs, because I always tell myself, I'm going to get hate comments. People are going to hate when you're the greatest, and people are going to hate when you might suck. People are going to hate. But even through all that hate, if I get 20 hate comments and I just get that one comment that says, this video has saved my life, and I was literally on the verge of taking it, that is all I'm doing it for. And I will do it over and over and over again. And this is just my beginning. So this face you're seeing tonight, this isn't the last time you're going to see it. If it takes me traveling to Africa, traveling to Alaska, traveling to somewhere in Spain that I don't even speak the language, just to connect with someone and let them know that they're not alone, this is exactly what I'm doing it for. And I hope that you guys will do it too. So don't forget the 3 Bs and overcoming your secret battle. Don't be too afraid that you can't speak up and speak out. Become brave. Go on and build those relationships. Apply these steps that you have learned tonight so that you can be still. Because I know that you can do it. And I know that you can overcome it. Thank you.